we're going to go into prayer. What about drinking and praying? Or as I like to think about it, praying under the influence. So we have another Amoraic text. We have Rabbi Bar Huna, who says, one who has drunk or has consumed some sort of alcoholic content should not pray. But what happens if they did? Well, then their prayer counts. That's fine. You know, you had a little bit, you prayed, that's cool. That counts. But what if you're drunk? Well, if you're drunk, you also should not be praying. But if you did, it doesn't count. It's disgusting. It's abominable. That's the problem, according to Rabbi Bar Huna, that you cannot be drunk and pray. That's not cool. Now, I know you're going to say, what is the distinction between the two, between simply drinking and being drunk, right? Where is that line? Is it a fine line? Is it a big gray area? What's the difference? So we have more on Eruvin 64a, and we have this little story. Rabbi Abba Bar Shumni and Rav Menashe Bar Yirmiyah from Gifty were leaving each other at the ford of the Yofti River, and they said, hey, let's each of us say something that one has not yet heard. For Mari Bar, okay. So we go on. So one of them, not clear which of the two, but one of them said, what are the circumstances where one has drunk wine, right? We have Heiche Dami Shatoi Heiche Dami Shikor. What's the distinction between the two, right? How can we say? So one says, Kol Shiachol L'Raber Lifnei HaMelech. Shikor Kol She'enu Yachol L'Raber Lifnei HaMelech. The differentiation is, can one speak in front of a king? That's it. Can you address a king? Can you speak when you're drunk and you're slurring your words? That's clearly problematic. And that one's, someone in that situation, that person's prayer is abominable. It's not good according to the rabbis. But if you are still able to speak, you got some drinking on, can still speak before God, before the king, you're okay with your prayers. And we have a parallel in the Yerushalmi where we have Abba Bar Huna saying one who drank shouldn't pray, and if they did, it counts. If they're drunk, you shouldn't, and if it did, it's not good, right? The prayer is blasphemous. But the difference here is that whereas in the Bavli it was a subjective measurement as to the ability for one to speak before the king, the Yerushalmi offers us an objective measurement that once you have, again, a revis, this quarter lobe, which I mentioned, the few ounces, boom. It's this like very, very minimal measurement, and then boom, that's out. But what's really, really fascinating here in the Yerushalmi is they also offer what they are saying over in Babylonia, that over there, what they say is all who are unable to speak before the king is. So the Yerushalmi actually mentions both the objective measurement as well as the subjective measurement of the Bavli. So that's a really neat thing. Okay, now we then move on to, now that we have this that we talked about, once we've discussed now in the Bavli, we talked about prayer, which is if you've been drinking, shouldn't pray, but if you have, that's okay. If you are drunk, you really should not be praying, and if you did, that's a really bad thing.